I'm Merely Caruso. It's Monday, August 24th. Today, palpable preparations. Why a new report calls for measures to protect First Nation communities experiencing wildfires and climate-driven emergencies. Also today, fighting words.
When the Americans go to the negotiation table first with the right attitude.
How Canada is responding to escalating trade tensions with the United States. Plus, strike deadline, when hundreds of Dynacare workers could walk off the job. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. The federal housing advocate says First Nations are stuck in a spiraling cycle during wildfire season, and she's pointing the finger at a lack of coordinated emergency management and a severe housing gap. Joining me now to break down that report is CTV's Taylor Brock. Taylor, this document really lays out a myriad of issues facing First Nation communities.
It really does, Marilee. The report coming from the federal housing advocate says wildfire displacement is becoming a part of life for some First Nations, putting even more pressure on housing and infrastructure gaps. Now, looking at 2025, which was the second worst wildfire season on record here, the report says First Nations were given little or no advance warning of the changing conditions, and some were outright ignored by provincial governments. The advocate pointed to Manitoba, saying the Assembly of Manitoba Chiefs and MKO called for support for communities that declared a state of emergency, but the province didn't respond for 10 days. Similar situations unfolded in northern Saskatchewan. On top of that, the report found vast differences in how people were being helped. Some municipalities and Indigenous organizations worked together to support evacuees. Others were wholly unprepared for the number of evacuees and their needs, and some were unwilling to receive evacuees altogether.
When we see communities being evacuated, the questions are, where are families going? Are families staying connected? How are children still accessing education?
By mid-August last year, more than 130 First Nations were impacted by wildfires across Canada. That includes more than 80 communities that were evacuated, forcing more than 40,000 people out of their homes. 17,000 of them were from Manitoba.
Taylor, does the housing advocate say what can be done about these issues?
They do, Marilee. In fact, the report makes 10 recommendations. One calls for the creation of a national emergency management strategy to coordinate between First Nations and the federal and provincial governments. Others are for funds to create First Nations-led fire safety and monitoring and improve infrastructure on reserves.
All right, thanks for this, Taylor. Now to the escalating trade war between Canada and the United States. President Trump is now threatening even more tariffs, saying starting January 1st, he'll increase tariffs by 50% on all cars, trucks, and auto parts. On social media, Trump said, quote, Canada has been ripping off the U.S. for years. He goes on to say high tariffs on American farmers and products made life impossible and created a $60 billion deficit between our two countries. The U.S. president also says Canada is among the worst nations in the world to deal with, adding the U.S. doesn't need Canada, it needs us. Prime Minister Mark Carney had this to say in response.
When the Americans go to the negotiation table first with the right attitude towards our industries and a true partnership, of course we'll come to the negotiating table.
Details coming from these trade talks are changing by the hour, so stick with us because CTV's Jeff Keel is going to have much more on how Manitoba businesses are handling the volatility and what this could mean for you coming up next hour. Prisoners who were put in solitary confinement while at Manitoba youth and adult jails can now file a claim as part of a class action lawsuit. As we previously reported, the Manitoba Court of King's Bench approved a $129 million settlement earlier this year. Eligible class members can file a claim until August 24th of next year to receive a cash settlement up to $100,000. The class action argued the government's use of solitary confinement was negligent and breached inmates' charter rights. Solitary confinement is defined as segregation in a room or area without meaningful human contact for at least 24 hours a day. The provincial government agreed to resolve the class action through the settlement without a trial while denying liability. A strike deadline has been issued for hundreds of Dynacare workers. The Manitoba Association of Healthcare Professionals says job action will begin at 6 a.m. September 8th if an agreement can't be reached. The strike would impact 350 workers at Dynacare's 22 laboratories and health centers in the province, including in Winnipeg and in Brandon. The news comes days after members voted 99.7% in favor of a strike mandate. The union says workers want better compensation, saying since 2017, wages have fallen to 20 to 50% behind public hospital laboratories. Both parties previously agreed under provincial essential services legislation it's not necessary to continue Dynacare's laboratory services in the event of a strike. This means all Dynacares, including the main processing lab in Winnipeg, would shut down during a strike. CTV News has reached out to Dynacare for comment. The Royal Canadian Legion was created by veterans organizations a century ago right here in Winnipeg, and Ottawa is chipping in to help celebrate its centennial. Canada's Veterans Affairs Minister announced $300,000 from its commemorative partnership program for 75 projects marking the milestone. The projects recognize the contributions of veterans, their families, and communities, and deepens the understanding of the country's military history and the sacrifices made. They include exhibits, commemorative events, performances, and more.
We're self-funded at the Legion, so anytime the Legion can receive a grant to do something special, well, that means a lot to us.
The Manitoba projects include a Belgian Independence Day parade, banners in Minnedosa and Gimli, and a Manitoba Métis Federation Royal Canadian Legion Centennial celebration. And be on the lookout for a new coin. The Royal Canadian Mint has just unveiled a new $2 circulation toonie. That's a big version of it. It commemorates the 100th anniversary of the Royal Canadian Legion and its long-standing support for veterans, their families, and communities. It was designed by Vladislava Pachenko of Calgary, who won a youth poster contest back in 2023. Some of the design elements include a royal crest, the Legion's motto, silhouettes of a soldier, woman, and child, and of course, the iconic poppy.
Which will be produced in color, as well as the uncolored version. In total, the Mint will produce 3 million of these coins and release them in circulation.
The coin went into circulation today. All right, let's bring in Colleen Brady now and get a first look at your Skywatch evening forecast. Boy, it's humid out there today, Colleen.
Yep, and it should be no surprise that means there is the potential for thunderstorms that could become severe across a good swath of southern Manitoba tonight. We already had non-severe thunderstorms that moved through the province, and at one point up in the central part of the province, a thunderstorm was severe. Now, we do have a line of rain that's moving out of Manitoba and into northwestern Ontario. Now, it's what's going to come or could well come in the hours ahead that we need to be vigilant of here in Manitoba. You can see much of the south lighting up in orange. We are under an orange watch for severe thunderstorms issued by Environment and Climate Change Canada. The conditions are ripe out there. As Marilee mentioned, it's humid. It's also very warm. And there is a culprit for all of this, which I will explain why we could be seeing this severe weather heading our way tonight and what those severe weather threats could be. All that coming up. But for now, let's take a look through the CTV Live Eye. It is brought to you by Bath Fitter, your bath and shower experts for more than 40 years. In Winnipeg right now, mix of sun and cloud, 27 degrees, but yeah, with that humidity, the Humidex feels like 33. It's windy too. Winds coming from the south-southeast at 26 kilometers an hour, gusting to 39. The pressure's falling and the humidity is 59%. Out in the roads or on the roads, or in this case on the bridges, it is almost a parking lot for folks trying to make their way southbound on the St. James Bridge. Much freer flowing traffic for folks headed northbound.
A multi-million-dollar makeover. The new changes coming to a Winnipeg park after the break.
Get Winnipeg's top stories, breaking news alerts, and watch live. Download the CTV News app.
It was a mixed day today on the markets. Crude oil lost $2. The loonie also slipped to 72.24 cents U.S. Gold futures added $17. The TSX was up 93 points. The Dow Jones gained a little bit of ground, 140-point change, while the Nasdaq fell 200 points. Today marks the 35th anniversary of Ukraine's independence. On August 24th, 1991, Ukraine's independence from the Soviet Union was ratified. Manitoba's Ukrainian community gathered Sunday to mark the historic event with food, vendors, crafts, and family-friendly activities. While it was a celebration, what is currently happening in Ukraine wasn't far from the minds of those in attendance.
I think it's important for us not just to come together to commemorate and celebrate the event, but also to remember that Ukraine is going through a very difficult time at this stage. It's the 5th year. City is being bombarded, hospitals are being destroyed, children are being kidnapped in Ukraine, and so we can't forget the war crimes that are being committed by Moscow on a regular basis.
Funds were being raised at the event Sunday to help send more humanitarian aid to Ukraine. According to the Ukrainian-Canadian Congress, 1.4 million Ukrainians call Canada home. Some big changes are coming to a park in northeast Winnipeg. Construction actually got underway today on a $6.1 million improvement project at Kilcona Park. It includes the demolition of some decaying buildings and signs, a new roadway and multi-use path through the park, and improvements to the off-leash dog area. Work on the road and pathways is expected to wrap up next fall, while the off-leash area should be ready by summer. However, keep in mind dogs will need to stay on a leash until the road work is finished. A Winnipeg artist is putting her own spin on the free little library idea. But instead of books, she created a free little art gallery. It's a space to pick up and drop off art projects. Since its launch, Heather Woods has received pieces from all around the world. Her biggest challenge at first was just keeping the rain out. Thankfully, she's since been able to waterproof her little gallery.
I take one day at a time. When I'm running, I take 1 mile at a time.
A fresh look into the life of a Canadian legend. All those details next in Spotlight.
Have a news tip? When you see news happening, let CTV News Winnipeg know. Text your tips, pictures, and videos to 10400. That's 10400. Message and data rates may apply.
Brady is back now for Spotlight, and we begin today with an exciting new event hitting Brandon next month.
That's right. It's called the Wheat City Fall Festival. The family-friendly event is being held over at the Keystone Center grounds and will celebrate all things local. It will feature a midway, vendors, live entertainment, and of course food trucks. It also coincides with the Brandon Wheat Kings home opener. Players will be hitting up rides at the festival and participating in a fan zone. There's a $5 entry fee, and those 2 and under are free. Wristbands for rides do cost extra. The festivities kick off on September 18th at 5 p.m. and run through the 20th.
All right, now to one of the most recognizable performers in contemporary Ukrainian music who's coming to Winnipeg.
That's right. Didzio is bringing his humorous blend of Pope. How about the Pope isn't coming. He's not bringing the Pope, but he is bringing pop and folk music to the Burton Cummings Theatre. Now, it's all happening on November 18th. He will be joined by Ukrainian-born violinist Vasyl Popaduk. Tickets go on sale Wednesday through Ticketmaster.
Well, it seems moviegoers just keep getting trapped in Spider-Man's web, Colleen.
No kidding. Spider-Man Brand New Day has topped the box office for a 4th weekend in a row.
You're not going to get away with this.
But he might.
The film drew in an additional $39 million this weekend, taking the number 6 spot of all-time releases at the worldwide box office. Sony Pictures also claimed the 2nd spot at the domestic box office this weekend, with the newly released horror sequel Insidious Out of the Further, pulling in $25.3 million. The Odyssey took the 3rd spot with an estimated $19.5 million during its 6th weekend. Lots of numbers there.
Yeah, big numbers.
Yes, big numbers. Big.
All right, now to get a closer look into one of the most legendary Canadians.
That's right. The trailer for the documentary Run, Terry, Run has dropped.
I take one day at a time. When I'm running, I take 1 mile at a time, and I take 1 corner at a time.
It's a behind-the-scenes look at Terry Fox's 1980 Marathon of Hope. Fox began his marathon in April 1980, roughly 3 years after learning of his cancer diagnosis. It's in theaters October 9th, but will premiere at the Toronto International Film Festival September 19th. At the time, his marathon raised $24 million. Now, earlier this year, the Terry Fox Foundation had announced it had surpassed $1 billion in funds raised for cancer research.
I'm really looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah, I think it'll be great.
David Beckham's son seems to be more into music than the pitch.
I suppose so. You can say bend it like Beckham, just on the guitar.
I wanna be John Lennon, bones made of silk.
Cruz Beckham definitely seems to be taking more after his mom than Dad David. He's the frontman for an indie band known as The Breakers, and they've officially dropped their new EP called Wear and Tear.
All right, now to something I'm having a very hard time believing. Baby Shark is apparently all grown up, Colleen.
How is that possible?
I don't know.
This is him now.
He was just a baby yesterday.
Just a baby.
Baby shark. Baby shark.
He's not even a shark anymore?
I guess not.
What is going on?
A very human-looking shark. The child star Baby Shark, YouTube's most viewed video, now with over 17 billion streams. Well, he's 17 now, and he's making his solo K-pop debut under the creative new name Baby Shark Boy. His new song opens with the original song's familiar melody before switching tunes to electric pop.
Oh, there's the one I know.
There we go.
Okay.
There he is.
Oh, see, I thought
he's all grown up now.
This goes to show you what I know. I just seen the little shark cutouts. I didn't realize there was a literal baby.
A human baby shark.
All right, and before we go, some big news. Happy anniversary, Colleen.
Oh, thank you.
Colleen has been with us for 15 years. Just celebrated a big anniversary. Very lucky to have you with us. So congratulations, and we didn't even give her the day off. We made her work.
What are you going to do? Thank you so much. I appreciate it, friend.
We can't do the show without her. So.
Hey, likewise, I appreciate it. Thank you. Your primetime lineup kicks off with American Ninja Warrior at 7. Match game follows at 9. It's all right here tonight on CTV. A live look at Osborne Village. Busy, peak of the rush, but moving well there. 27 degrees. Well, with the Humidex, it feels like 33. Even with the Humidex, it feels like 33. It's windy. I'll have more on those potentially severe thunderstorms headed our way coming up.
Women's clothing provided by RW & Company. Salon services provided by Essentique Spa Salon.
Talk about the catch of a lifetime by this Nova Scotia teenager. Dylan Jacquard is just 13 years old and broke a world tuna fishing record at the 22nd annual Wedgeport Tuna Tournament and Festival. She reeled in a 711-pound bluefin tuna. It makes her the pending junior female angler world record holder. The former record of 618 pounds was set 12 years ago, meaning Jacquard beat that record by nearly 100 pounds.
CTV Skywatch weather brought to you by South Beach Casino and Resort. Visit southbeachcasino.ca.
Wow. Well, wow might be what you might be saying tonight if severe thunderstorms develop, and there's a distinct possibility. Now, the reason being there is a trough of low pressure, a shortwave, if you will, that is coming out of Saskatchewan and into Manitoba, and as it does, it's tapping into these south winds, and it's ushering heat and humidity, two of the main ingredients we'll need tonight to fire up thunderstorms. We already have had thunderstorms earlier today, further to the north of Winnipeg and Brandon, through the Interlake and up into some central areas where we're still seeing some lightning flashes. We do have that severe thunderstorm watch I want to show you. It covers a good swath of Manitoba, but not the southwest. So we've got Brandon, areas a little further to north, and then down into the southwest corner, not under the watch. That doesn't mean you might not see thunderstorms that could become severe, but at this point, the watch area is pretty much all of the rest of us lighting up in orange. Now, under this watch issued by Environment Canada, we could potentially see wind gusts in excess of 110 kilometers an hour, ping pong ball-sized hail. That's a mouthful, and some pretty heavy rain at times locally. Now, whether there is a tornado watch or warning in effect or not, it's always worth reminding that when you do see severe thunderstorms like this develop, there is always the potential of an isolated tornado as well. So that is an added risk if we see those storms develop tonight. Meanwhile, we have rain that is now, you can see how fast that rain is traveling. If the show, that rain was right along the provincial border. Now it's well off into Ontario. It's swept through places like Kenora. It's moving through Red Lake right now. Speaking of Kenora, it is 20 degrees, but look at the jump in temperatures when you get back into Manitoba. 27, 28 degrees in Winnipeg, down into Winkler, Portage, Brandon, Melita also 27, 28, 29 in Dauphin. Piping hot there, and in much of the north warm too. 24 in Thompson. Look at Lynn Lake, 25 degrees right now, 26 in Island Lake before that drop off to 14 in Churchill. Now we've got areas in central regions too, which may well see some thunderstorms develop yet tonight, or in more southern parts of the north. But really the focus on potentially severe thunderstorms tonight is this evening across most of southern Manitoba. Into northwestern Ontario though, look where you can see that rain gets particularly heavy as we get into the overnight hours. But as we get into Tuesday, on the tail end of this system, we may see more thunderstorms move across a good swath of the province and into northwestern Ontario as we move throughout the day. Then we clear out and behind as we get into late Tuesday night and into Wednesday. You can see a lot more sunshine across a much greater part of Manitoba, including here in Winnipeg. 17 is our warm low tonight. Thunderstorms are likely. If they develop, they could become severe, and some very strong south winds. With the passing of the system, the winds will shift. They'll come out of the northwest tomorrow. 22 is the high likelihood of showers or thunderstorms. The UV index for Tuesday is 5 or moderate. Quick swing through, including me swinging through. Look at the long-range forecast there. Sunshine Wednesday and Thursday, 24 degrees those days, 25 Friday under a mix of sun and cloud, heating up to 27 on Saturday with the chance of showers, a higher chance of showers, and 24 on Sunday. Our first weather photo takes a beautiful look out at the sky over St. Claude, Manitoba. That photo is from Sandra, and speaking of beautiful, this is Abby watching the sunrise out at Grand Beach. Gorgeous shot there from Angie. Send us yours by email to winnipegweather@ctv.ca.
Thanks, Colleen. More than 650 teams from 16 countries are gathered in China for the World Humanoid Robot Games, and records are being set. It's taken 17 years for anyone or anything to break Usain Bolt's 100-meter dash record. Until now, that is. That robot ran the distance in 9.39 seconds Saturday. Other events included boxing. Check out these two robots duking it out. Oh. Complete with a victory dance after Blue was declared the winner. Yeah. There's his victory dance. Now, these games are not without accidents, though. One sprinting robot actually took out part of the light-up courtside display on his way down. But at least he didn't burn into flames like, well, this one did. It's coming. See, there's yeah, fire extinguisher. You know what? I'm all about the Olympics. These robot games aren't really for me.
Yeah, it's. I don't know what to say to that.
You know what? Don't go far. We're back.